And this first main topic is a holdover from yesterday. We didn't have time to get to it, but we'll get to it now. And this one comes to us from our viewer, Nicolas Weston, who writes, "Hello, John and Rob. I'm not one of those people who say, is Hollywood running out of ideas when they do sequels and remakes, because I know a lot of original films get made. But when I see they're making a Rock'em Sock'em movie, I just have to ask. Vin Diesel doesn't have anything better to do? Like, is it Fast and Furious or nothing? What do you think of this?" All right, thanks a lot for sending this in, man. And yeah, look, there are one of my pet peeves about film fandom, and I'm often the subject of my own pet peeve, but one of my pet peeves about film fandom is when, you know, a sequel or a comic book movie or something gets made, and you get people who think it makes them sound smart going, "Well, Hollywood doesn't know how to do anything original anymore." Well, no, in actuality, if you look at the facts, there's more original film that gets produced today than at any other time in Hollywood history. But that being that setting aside, every once in a while, Rob, a movie does come up where you cannot help but go, why? Why? Now, I admit, one of those times for me was when they said they were doing a Lego movie. I'm like, why? And look how that turned out. That movie was great. And I ended up loving that. But then we heard there's a Monopoly movie coming. And I'm like, why? But Rob, I do not know that those three little letters, why, have ever spurred forth from my mouth quicker than when I heard that not Dwayne Johnson, but Vin Diesel, who I adore Vin Diesel. That Vin Diesel is doing a Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety who write, Ryan Angle, who wrote Rampage, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Liam Neeson's The Commuter, penned the Rock'em Sock'em screenplay. The story follows a father, Vin Diesel, and a son who form an unlikely bond. Really? It's unlikely that a father and son form a bond? Okay. Form an unlikely bond with an advanced war machine. The role of Diesel's character son has yet to be cast. Okay. So on its surface here, one of the first things that comes to mind when I hear this is, what was the one with Hugh Jackman?
Real Steel.
Real Steel. It sounds a little bit like Real Steel, which, if you remember when Real Steel came out, a lot of us joked when the trailers first came out. We're like, it's basically Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And by the way, Real Steel is great. I really enjoyed that movie a lot. The soundtrack is fantastic too. The soundtrack, if you guys haven't listened to the soundtrack of Real Steel, it's really, really good. Anyway, but they're going right for it now. It even sounds a little similar, right? Hugh Jackman and a younger boy, they kind of bond over building this battle robot. This kind of sounds a little bit similar too. Now, again, I am a big fan of Vin Diesel, but just the name Rock'em Sock'em. Rob, what am I missing here? Is there an audience for this? Now, obviously, there's inherent value in recognizable IP. I understand that. I recognize that. But I don't know. Rob, I'm asking the question, why? What do you think about when you hear about Vin Diesel doing a Rock'em Sock'em movie?
John. It's like making a Rubik's Cube movie. I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. I loved Rock'em Sock'em Robots when I was a kid. It was fun. And when you got that headshot and the head popped up, you won the fight. I like that. But I look at this and I think, like you, really? I mean, of all the great novels that have yet to be adapted into movies and all the projects Vin Diesel could be a part of after why not another Chronicles of Riddick movie? Why not? Well, anything. Bloodshot 2. I mean, we're going to get Rock'em
Bloodshot 2.
I know. Rock'em Sock'em Robots? I honestly, I don't see, I mean, outside the ring, are you going to learn about the secret life of these robots? Like, do they have problems, and are they in therapy? Does one of them need a Mickey to train them to be a better Rock'em Sock'em robot? I don't know. But on the other hand, dude, Real Steel was not bad. So maybe I'm like, who thought this was, which executive said, oh yeah, I know it's probably Hasbro, some of the toy company pushed it, but I'm like,
well, for sure.
Really?
I think it's Mattel. Mattel.
Mattel.
Yeah.
Well, then let's get a Shogun Warriors movie. Come on, man.
The only thing I can fathom, and I might be willing to put some theoretical internet bucks on this, is that this is one of those situations where it's, okay, Vin, we'll do this project, but you got to do one for us when we come to you. And like Mattel and the studio had a deal. Mattel wants Rock'em Sock'em done. It's like, okay, and you got to attach a star. All right, well, Vin owes us one. Okay, call Vin. Say, Vin, we're calling in that one you owe us. And Vin Diesel was like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah, sorry, man. But you said, I don't know. I got a feeling once we hear the behind the scenes story of Rock'em Sock'em, we're going to find out this is one of those little tit for tat situations where maybe he just kind of owed them one and he had to do it. Cause I just can't see Vin Diesel going, you know what I've always wanted to do? A Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie. I just don't
Although
see
he is
that.
a big geek, John.
That's true.
He might have, like if Joe Manganiello started a Dungeons and Dragons movie, I don't think anyone would think twice about it.
Nope, that's true.
Geek.
I think Vin is a D&D player too, if I'm not mistaken. I know he definitely plays some World of Warcraft too, but I don't know. Anyway, guys, the question here for you is, what do you think about this? Listen, for all we know, this could turn out like that Lego movie, right? Looked ridiculous, sounded ridiculous. It turned out to be an incredible delight and an incredibly fun movie that we still talk about to this day. Maybe that's what will happen with Rock'em Sock'em, or maybe it will go the way of that Jeremy Irons Dungeons and Dragons movies. Who knows? What do you guys think about this? Jump on down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.